You're asking yourself right now, why do I feel like I do? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because you're experiencing the perfect blend of the post-race high and the pre-race jitters found during the break between races of a doubleheader Saturday night. Streaming cyberspace into your place from North Wilkesboro Speedway, it's the Virtual Grips Network's opening round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Invitational Series, Season 29. He ranks 6th all-time in late model starts with 171, and while Double Deuce Bruce Pearson is still hunting his first career late model win, after a Season 28 campaign that saw him post the best average finish by more than a position and a half, he has become only the 9th driver to be able to call himself a BRL late model champion. Now the girls scooping the Baskin-Robbins will firmly declare sprinkles are for winners. Well, wins were indeed sprinkled amongst the drivers last season, with 8 different drivers grabbing the checkered flag. Jeffrey Harden, the only racer to do it more than once, and he did it 3 times. And while Pearson's cone is still sprinkle-free, when you're a champion, that's hot fudge, baby. Old-time Donnie Moore is the only active driver with multiple titles, doing it twice, but his last championship was 23 seasons ago, and his last late model win, some 117 races gone by. 2 drivers with good odds to pick up their second crown are Season 27 champ, the Canadian Goose John Wilson, and Season 22 champ, Jeffrey Harden. And then there's the Butcher of Baton Rouge, Joe Snyder, with 4 career late model wins and a Season 26 title. Who gets the sprinkles? Who gets the hot fudge? It's anybody's guess, but one thing is for certain. It's gonna be nuts! So pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for some simulated short track racing action about to stream your way. You know, ringing the 2025 in here, Happy New Year from the Tar Heel State on this Saturday night, January 4th, 2025. It's Ricky Harden-the-Wall Harden joining yours truly, Bill Soupson, hi from the VGM broadcast booth to bring you our words of you. And still in his baby New Year's diaper is our director replay, Ryan Seneker. All right, Ricky. You know, this place, a lot of people know about this place, maybe not so much now as it's not as active as it used to be, but BRL doesn't get a lot of action here. We only come here a handful of times. What do you know about this place?
Oh, man, well, the action's picking back up at North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's great to be back for another season of Bootleg Racing League action as we open up the season here at North Wilkesboro for what promises to be an action-packed 100 laps. This is a legendary short track nestled in the hills of North Carolina. It's a 0.625-mile oval with a ton of character, boasting tight corners, challenging elevation changes, and like many tracks in the southeastern United States, an abrasive racing surface. What makes tonight's race especially thrilling is the format. We have 100 laps of all-out racing, and here's the kicker. No extra sets of tires laying in the pits. And in a late model stock car, that always means tire conservation is going to play a massive role in determining who gets to hoist the trophy at the end of the night. Drivers are going to have to find the perfect balance between pushing hard to gain positions and saving their tires to have something left for the final lap. So we'll see some drivers who charge early, others biding their time, and maybe a few wild cards that surprise us along the way.
You heard Ricky talk about no extra tires. You got to preserve those. You also got to guard your fenders as well, so there's no fast repairs. So should be very interesting indeed. You want to keep your car clean for all 100 laps. And there's a new feature this year that they're allowing some provisional points to drivers who miss out. You get last place points. Boy, last place points tonight are going to be well down the order. Ricky, this field is huge.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We've got, 26 cars on track here as practice wraps up in the next few seconds. And that is going to make for traffic here. And that brings me to another point. Passing here at North Wilkesboro is not easy. This is a track that rewards a lot of patience and precision. The high line can be effective for defending, but the low line is usually where you try to go. So it'll be fun to watch these guys try to make moves.
You heard Ricky talk about practice. It is indeed practice, as there is no qualifying. The grid this year is going to be inverted from the previous, we're going to call it the Baker's Dozen. Used to be 15. They've cut off 2. So now it's the top 13 from the previous race. They'll invert those. Everybody else piles in behind them. And we go ahead and grid this up. We're going to hustle through this one as we want to make sure that we get our VGN commentators bonus for getting all 26 drivers in before they go green. So with that said, we'll wait for iRacing to go ahead and give us our starting grid, and we can do that for you right now. On the pole, it's going to be Joe Segala. He's going to be inside of Todd Liston.
The Butcher of Baton Rouge, that's Joseph Snyder. He's going to roll off in the third spot with Ed Foster from down under in the number 4 machine going fourth.
How about you win yourself a championship, then you get to come back next season and start fifth. That's pretty good news for Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. Adam Shane will be outside of him.
Jason Menda goes 7th with Todd Cousins flanking him in 8th.
He's always quick. The number 29 of Scott Negus will be going in 9th inside of veteran James Lowe.
Another row to watch. Aiden Young in the 69 car. He's going to go off 11th with Mike Holloway. New number on that one, number 88. He goes in the 12th spot.
A champion 2 seasons ago is the Canadian Goose John Wilson. He'll be going in 13th inside the man who likes to charge through, the quiet man, Ruben Altis.
The number 16 car, Ed Springer, is going to go off 15th with Chris Hazlip, the Lipper, going 16th.
Behind him is veteran Kurt Smith and his familiar number 6. He's going to be inside old-time Donnie Moore in his ASPCA special.
Steve Hilbert's going to go off 19th in the number 52 car with the boss man, Lowell Jewell, going off in the 20th position.
You get paid 1.5 for hitting blackjack. Mark Herzog will be there, but I don't know if he wants to start from 21st. He's got Tim Carter to the outside him, the double duck spot.
Trey Bloom's going to roll off in the 23rd position with Tom Hilbert in the 24th spot.
25 and 26, Jeffrey Happy Kemper and Bobby Hayes at the very end. My goodness, Bobby, you got a long way to go to get to the front. Our spotlighted driver tonight, well, he's going to be starting in 4th position. It's the Aussie, Edward Foster. Now, Simon and Poindexter in the smoke-filled back rooms of Las Vegas casinos have put the number at 6.5. Bet the under if you think he'll do 6 or better. Bet the over 7th or worse. What say you, Ricky? That's a tough one.
Yeah, this is a huge field. For 6.5 is a tough one to go with for sure. But I'm going to take the under on it. I do think Ed has shown a ton of speed in the few races that he's been here with us, and he just has to avoid trouble tonight and keep that spot. I think he'll do it.
Honestly, 4th feels like a good spot to start if you're driving in the number 4. They come out of corners 3 and 4. I'm going to turn it over to my partner, and we'll get the season underway.
Pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn, get out of the way, and the field is under the control of Joe Segala. He gets on the loud pedal, and away they go. He's clear to the lead going down into turn number 1. Todd Liston has either lane to choose going down there as well, and the battle is for 3rd. That's the number 39, the Butcher of Baton Rouge, to the inside of Edward Foster. And look at this, at the front, Todd Liston looks to the inside of Joe Segala, not able to get there, but he's right on that back bumper through turns 3 and 4.
Joe Segala doing a good job of fending off Liston, the 81 against the 87. Snyder gets the best of Foster. Foster tucks into 4th. Double Deuce Bruce Pearson looking to go underneath, but he's got his hand full with Adam Shane to his outside. They almost get together, but they keep it off. They are also behind them 2 by 2. That's Menda with the double deuce. Well, that's another deuce. That's let's get that straight. As I look at the car number, it's incorrect. That is number 5. Todd Cousins got to get that number right on the paint scheme.
Yeah, it's showing up good for me. Todd Cousins is there in the number 5 machine. He's to the outside of the 99. That's James Lowe. James Lowe, a guy that has come back recently and shown a lot of speed here in the Bootleg Racing League, and he's already making some hay down there on the bottom of the track, trying to follow Jason Menda through as they work to the inside of the 79 car. That's Adam Shane. Double Deuce Bruce Pearson right in front of them, running a wider entry, but able to get off the corner really well and kind of stay out in front of Menda.
Indeed, number 20, the number 5 is Todd Cousins. You're seeing it as a number 5 as well. Just showed up weird. It's one of the quirks of simulated racing. Sometimes you don't get the right paint scheme. They are single file now, most of the way back, drifting a little bit high. That's the number 22 of Pearson is under attack from Menda.
Yeah, and I talked about that. He was taking a wider entry there into turn number 1 last lap, but he was making it work and driving off, but he left the door open a little too long for Jason Menda, and Menda stuck it to the inside, and he's going to make that pass easily on the double deuce. And here comes James Lowe trying to follow him through, and he gets side by side with Pearson down the back straightaway and pulls even with him going down into turn 3.
All right, Ricky, I just watched the SK Modifieds, and maybe it's the width of the tires, but the outside line seemed to work a lot better for them. It's deadly right now. At least it is for Pearson.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys don't want to be out there because they're afraid they're going to burn their tires up when with the lack of rubber in that outside line. And iRacing, that's particularly tough on the tires. Oh, battle for the lead, and there's trouble up front.
Oh, that's going to be ugly.
Wrecking. Oh, no. Our spotlighted driver just gets nailed by Bruce Pearson, and the track is totally blocked. Their cars are just everywhere on the front straightaway, and that started with our leader getting a little bit of contact from our second place driver of Todd Liston there. So we'll take a look at that as these guys all try to get turned back around. And man, bad news for the spotlighted driver there of Edward Foster as he tries to get turned around. But here's the replay. What you'll see is Todd Liston gets a really good run on Segala here coming through 3 and 4. He gets into the back of Segala, and man, everybody's just trying to avoid it at this point, and there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, you see the cars going by, but you don't realize from this point of view. And then maybe after this, we can scoop back to a driver that's farther back in the pack. You'll see the spin, and then you can see how blocked the track is here. There, just look. It is basically, it looks like the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, if we look at the boss man, Lowell Jules on board, he just comes to a complete stop and avoids all contact, and it's a mess from his point of view.
Easier to tell you the drivers that were able to sneak through. Jason Mendes, Scott Negus, and Aiden Young. They're racing 1, 2, 3. They were able to avoid it. They're up in front, and I think they got through clean.
Look at this. Oh, he did get in the back of Ruben Altiz just a little bit right there, but he comes to a complete stop. Ruben sneaks through, and everybody just kind of one by one tries to pull through it. Wow. Well, what a mess.
They don't like us. They don't like us to talk to somebody who was involved in the incident, so that doesn't leave a whole lot of people that I could talk to. Let's try the number 5 of Todd Cousins and see how he feels about this one. Todd, it's Soup at the booth. You got a copy? He's a new to the league. We don't have him yet. Let's go ahead. We'll come back and try somebody else. Let's go ahead and try. Let's dial up the 29. I know Scott Negus will be able to talk to us. Let's see if we can get an interview with him. Scott, it's Soup up in the booth. Did you get any part of that?
Never touched it. You know, every time you interview me, I get wrecked, eh?
Well, I got you up here now. You're in 4th spot. You're on the inside of row 2. You gotta be feeling good.
Thanks, buddy. I feel great.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Coming down the back straightaway now. We're going to take the green flag this time by, and let's reset it for you. Up on the front row, we've got Jason Minda in that 45 car alongside Todd Cousins, and they're in control of the field as the pace car gets out of the way. Green flag comes out right away. A little bit of damage on the right front fender of Jason Minda, but he gets out cleanly there on the restart, and he's way out in front of the 5 machine of Todd Cousins, and to his inside is the double deuce of Bruce Pearson battling for that 2nd spot.
Contrary to what you heard in the interview, Negus starts on the inside of row 3. That would be the 5th position. He's hanging there right now. The 69 stuck on the top side. Now, honestly, if there's anybody who doesn't mind being stuck up top, it is Aiden Wilson. And he's doing a good job of rolling the top side.
Yeah, Aiden Young, he's always up there on the top side and making it look easy as everyone else struggles in that top lane. And he gets around the double deuce of Bruce Pearson, and he's going to get down in line in front of him. He does want to run that bottom lane, I believe, and he's up to the 3rd spot by virtue of making the pass there on the outside, up to 8 spots. Now, the field's all shuffled up. There's a lot of guys who've gained a lot of positions because of that huge incident that we saw in the front straightaway. Guys were stopped all over the place, so there's a lot of guys that have lost a lot of spots, 20-plus spots, as a matter of fact, including our spotlighted driver, Edward Foster, who's all the way back in the 24th position after what we saw. But looks like we might have a battle for the lead before too long, as Todd Cousins is starting to put some pressure on Menda.
Ricky, I'm going to jump you back for a minute. This is a yellow flag about to happen. Number 16 of Ed Springer. He's racing on the outside. He's got into Kurt Smith twice. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. He comes off a Ford, then he drifts down. Now Smith gives him a little more room this time, and it looks like they're going to get to the settle out. That's Smith on the white car on the inside. Springer, the newcomer, on the outside in the 16. Let's stay on this for a little while longer. There's also, that's Donnie Moore and Ruben Altiz coming up behind him, as those two guys are slow. I think after 2 or 3 times bumping, they finally got it figured out.
Yeah, I see what you mean. The 16 machine of Springer comes off the wall a little bit before he gets down into the corner, and makes it for some tight quarters racing as they go down into the corner. And that can be a little scary if you're on the bottom lane, because you don't expect guys to come off the wall like that. But once you see him do it a few times, you know, hey, I got to give this guy a little bit of extra room. As Springer gets a little bit of the outside wall coming off turn 4 right there. And that's what Kurt Smith did. He turned down. Oh, no, Kurt Smith off the bumper of Donnie Moore. He's going to go around. Tim Corder in the 60 gets turned around behind that, and that causes a huge stack up on the track. Tim Corder collects Edward Foster, collects Todd Liston, Adam Shane, and among others, all on the exit of turn 2 right here. Caution flag flies.
Here at VGN, we call it Spidey sense. You can just feel it coming, and there it is. Now, it didn't involve the 2 guys that I thought, but it did involve Smith, and then they pile up with a large field like this. They come in, and once again, our spotlighted driver, Ed Foster, involved in that one.
Yeah, he was just trying to get on the brakes and kind of got collected at the tail end of that. But big damage, I think, for the 60 of Tim Corder. The 57 of Herzog got in the back of him and lifted him off the ground. And probably the biggest damage is going to be on the 8 machine of Kemper. He went into the outside wall with the right front tire, and that's going to be bad news for the suspension on that thing. And he's probably going to be struggling from here on out if he's able to continue.
Well, you give yourself a large field and you make it the opening round, and sometimes that's a recipe for caution flags, but also they can get us sorted out once these guys get into the rhythm. We could go the distance here, green all the way, 80 laps of green flag racing. Let's take a second and dial up the number 75, former champion, the Canadian Goose, John Wilson. He's racing in 5th right now. He started in 13th position. John, you picked up 8 spots, a lot of it probably from attrition. How's the car feel? Is it clean?
No, I got a little bit of damage in that first one, so but it doesn't feel too bad.
All right, now do you got guys in front of you? Negas is quick, Young, Cousins. What do you think? You got anything for these guys?
I don't know, it's still pretty early. I'll just see if I can stick with them at least, and then see where we are at the end.
From looking at this, it looks like the inside line is the place to be. Am I right about that?
Right now, I think so. I'm hoping maybe the outside will come in later, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Got a little damage to the car, but he thinks he can still race it.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not the only one with a little bit of damage on the car. Just about every car looking a little worse for the wear here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. And shout out to Abigail Foster in the chat. Says there must be a magnet on that 4 car. I absolutely believe that must be the case. He's not been able to avoid trouble tonight, and I guess that's the commentator's curse for making him the spotlighted driver. I'm going to put that one on you, Soup.
Yes, well, we set a nice starting position. We thought he was going to do well. He still has plenty of time to get there again.
I'm not taking credit for the bad luck. All right, down to the restart zone. Jason Mendez got control, and he's going to be down and away on the front straightaway. But great restart from that 5 machine of Todd Cousins on the outside. They go into turn 1 side by side for the lead.
Wilson, we just talked to him. He looks good in 5th position. They are still battling 2x2 upper. Look at the momentum now. Oh, my goodness. Trying to pin Mendez down. Now he drifts up. I think that's going to cost him a spot as Young's going to have momentum. No, look what this Cousins can do. Holy smokes.
Yeah, he really tried to pinch Minda a little bit on the entry, and that really messed up his trajectory through turns 3 and 4. He got way out into the marbles, and that's not where you want to be. But, man, he just about got in the back of Minda going into turn 1. He's going to have a look to the inside off of turn 4 for the lead. Is he going to be able to get there? No, he will not. They're single file for the top spot, but the yellow flag flies for trouble further back on the track, and it looks like it involves the 99 of James Lowe.
I think it starts with the caveman of Trey Bloom. He's still rolling.
Yeah, watch the stack up right in front of him. He's going to get on the binders right here, and James Lowe, nowhere to go, gets into the back, and whoo, Trey Bloom goes up in the air off the front of Adam Shane's machine. And
look who else was involved with. Number 4 was in that one as well.
Yes, he is. Just a tiny bit of contact right at the end of that one. That one's going to take James Lowe out of this race, unfortunately. Trey Bloom also with some required repairs in the pit road, so he's sitting there right now getting some damage fixed.
Started with 26 drivers, 21 are still on the lead lap. Okay. Fans of the 45 have got to be asking, what's a guy got to do to get an interview? He's been leading the whole way. 19 laps, well, 19 out of the 27 we've been racing. Not quite all of them. Jason Menda up there. Jason, how you feeling?
All right, I guess. I don't know. The front end feels real floaty after that big crash. So I don't know. We'll see.
Did you get a piece of it?
A little bit.
We thought you got through clean. I guess not. Okay. What do you know about Todd Cousins? This guy races hard.
Yeah, he does. I don't know much about him, but he's seems to be pretty fast.
He's on the top. He's on the bottom. You protect the bottom line. Is that the strategy?
Wherever the car will let me stick it is where I'm going.
Got it. All
I don't
right.
know. I'll figure it out in the turn.
All right. You got about 2/3 of the race to go. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
You heard us mention it earlier. Jason Meadows got some damage on the right front. You see the fender pushed back a little bit right there. That's probably what's causing it to not handle as well as he would like.
Look for some big movers. 9 spots up for Donnie Moore.
Bobby Hayes up 11 spots, running the 15th spot right now, so still deep in the field. But great pickup for him as we have a lot of guys down a lot of spots. 20 cars now on the lead lap now that the 32 machine had to get some repairs. Mark Herzog also got his lap back. So we're back up to 21 cars on the lead lap as we come back to the restart.
Doubling up. We'll see if Cousins can get down in front of Young. Cousins, from what I can tell, the number 5, races hard. Don't know how he's going to race at the end. But right now, he's giving it all he's got.
Yep, green flag flies again, and here goes the 45 machine of Jason Menda. He gets a much better restart that time. He's clear of Cousins with no pressure at the moment, and the battle is going to be for that second spot as the 69 looks to the inside of Cousins and not able to get there. So now it's back there with Scott Negus and the 75 machine of John Wilson to his inside. And man, Cousins off of turn number 4 gets into the wall a little bit. He was right on the back end of Menda coming off 4.
Well, usually we don't like to stick on the front because the action is a little farther back. But right now, let's focus on the front. Because as we learn a little bit more about Todd Cousins, he races hard. Watch the drive off here. I don't know how much rubber he's going to have left when it comes to lap 90. But right now, at the 1/3 mark, he is right on the back of Menda.
Yeah, and it really depends on how these cautions keep falling. We've had a lot of cautions early on, so tire wear won't be a big factor if we end up with a lot of caution flag periods before the end of this thing. But right now, it settles out, and he's not able to put a lot of pressure on Menda after a couple laps, and they run nose to tail there at the front. Battle further back between the 88 machine and Mike Holloway. He's to the inside of that 70 of Ruben Altiz, and some tight racing between these two through 1 and 2 as they go down into 3 and 4 now.
Altiz got a little bit of the hip check from the 88, and I think
caution further back.
Could involve the...
Yeah, it looks like the butcher of Baton Rouge there, Joe Snyder, goes around after some contact with a couple of other cars out there. Started between he and the 25 machine you saw there, and none other than the number 4 of Edward Foster is collected in it again. That magnet theory proven to be true, I think.
Well, you know, if you're going to have a bad race and you're going to get you're going to pick up a lot of incidents, might as well get them all out of the way the first race, and then you can have a clean final 10. Let's dial up the 88 of Mike Holloway and see what he has to tell us here. Started in 12th, racing in 7th. First question, Mike, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What's up with the new number?
I don't know. Kind of looks cool, right?
Double infinity, baby. All right, how you feeling?
Feel like I wish we could get a little longer run, get a little rhythm going here. This what we've got going on right now is not really working.
Lot of action, a lot of kerfuffles going on. Did you get caught up? It's hard not to get caught up. And how clean's your car?
Shouldn't be too bad. That first big fracas we had there, I just got turned around as I was slowing down. Didn't really hit anything, so should be okay.
All right, we'll keep an eye on you. Good luck.
Thanks.
You know, Ricky, if you're going to go to all the effort of changing your number and then the commentator asks you about it, at least you could do is have a decent story about it.
At least come up with something, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be true, right?
No, my mother-in-law turned 88 this year. Like, I don't know, something.
Yeah,
looks good. All right, I guess 88 looks as fast as any number.
They start to double up on the front straightaway. I mean, yeah, Holloway's always a guy to watch when we have long runs. I can understand why he's a little frustrated to have so many yellow flags in the first third of this race. He's a guy that really thrives on saving those tires to late in the race. But we double up again. Jason Menda still in control with Todd Cousins to his outside. Aiden Young and Scott Negus rounding out the second row. Pace car is going to get out of the way this time, and green flag's going to come back out. Let's see who can get the jump as they come down to the restart zone. On the loud pedal is that 45 of Jason Menda. He's going to clear Cousins going down into turn number 1, but Cousins is clear as well. Let's see if Cousins tries to mount a charge at Menda. He gets into turn 1 pretty good, but he had to give a little room for Aiden Young there behind him. It looked like Aiden was going to dive to the inside, but battle is for third.
Okay, they call me to call him as I see him. I'll tell you right now, I am a Todd Cousins fan, the way that he races, but I'll tell you, I will be surprised if he gets himself a top 20. He is racing harder than anybody out there right now, working all over the back of Menda. Look at the difference just in the smoothness. Maybe it's just my imagination between the way he races and the way that Aiden Young is racing right now. Just out there, Young just seems to be just guiding the car and hit it. Meanwhile, Cousins seems to be really working the car hard.
I think you're absolutely right, Soup. He's diving it down into the corners. He's getting right on the back bumper of that 45 of Menda, while you see Aiden Young just kind of laying back, easing it into the corners, letting it kind of work its way through the corner without putting a lot of pressure on it. Oh, man, right to the back of Menda. Menda gets a little bit of the grass. He saves it. Cousins wisely backs off and lets Menda collect it. That's a good move on Cousins' part. If you're going to get to the back of somebody, get out of the gas. Give them a chance to recover, and Menda does exactly that. Keeps the lead, and Cousins keeps second.
How's that for commentating? I just love the way the Cousins races. I don't know if Menda is a fan. I think Aiden Young's probably enjoying the show right now. Nega's back there racing farther back. John Wilson hanging on in 5th position.
Yeah, all these guys inside the top 5 or 10 are really just biding their time, except for Cousins, I would say. Cousins really wants that lead. I feel like he's putting the pressure on Menda pretty hard all the time to get there, but maybe after getting to the back of him, he's going to think twice about how hard he wants to enter those corners. You never want to wreck somebody, and man, he was awfully close to doing it.
We focused up front. Let's see if we can find something a little bit farther back. Drive with, oh no, going around. Is that Hilbert?
Tom Hilbert going into turn number 1. He's had no caution because he's sitting down in the grass. He's going to try to get that thing turned back around. Now he's going to have to be careful coming back out on the track because the leaders are coming down into turn number 1 as he gets it off of turn number 2. He's able to keep it out in front of the leaders, and all is good. He's honky-dory.
Tip of the hat, wag of the finger to Bobby Hayes. Bobby Hayes up 8 spots from where he started and dead last. But the wag of the finger, as he was the guy who got into the back of Hilbert.
And Tom Hilbert going to drop all the way back to the 21st position. He's the last car on the lead lap, and looks like we got a little battle going on between the 88 of Mike Holloway, who we talked about under the last caution, and Donnie Moore looking to his inside in that ASPCA special, and he was not able to quite get there. He's backing off and getting in line behind Holloway now.
I feel like going into see if I can get in touch with Moore right now and let him know that the 88 is Holloway. He probably has that figured out. They have the stuff to get it. Look at Moore trying to get underneath it. Holloway drifts up, and sure enough, he gets a run off of 2. Now he's going to have the inside through 3 and 4. Let's see if the inside line pays off.
Yeah, this is where the outside can be really effective here at North Wilkesboro. You can get on that outside and get a great run down the back straightaway, but Moore does a really good job getting that thing to rotate and clears Mike Holloway down the back straightaway, and he's going to try to bring Kurt Smith along with him. Kurt gets to the inside of Holloway, tries to make something happen, and look at this, further up, there's the 29. That's Scott Negus. He's on the inside of Aiden Young. We talk about how Aiden really likes that outside, but you don't want to run it for a lot of laps consecutively because you can really overheat the tires and overwork it until you get a lot of green flag laps, and then it's harder to hold the inside, to be quite honest. So I don't think we've had enough green flag laps for the inside to be that difficult, but man, Aiden Young always making the top look easy as he holds off the charge from the 29.
More than anybody else that I have confidence in Young when he's on the outside. These are 2 fast drivers with different racing styles. Young, very, very smooth. Negus will race you clean, but he'll race you aggressively, and they're both very, very fast. They start that back out in the same position that they started with. Still hanging in there is Todd Cousins, but he's beginning to lose touch. Now a little bit of room for Jason Menda. And now look at this. Here comes Aiden Young looking to the inside of Cousins.
Yeah, Aiden Young trying to make something happen as he got got kind of caught up to those front two as they got kind of stacked up, and he tried to look to the inside, not able to make anything happen right there. But look, Cousins is way up the track off of turn number 4 right here. It's going to give the number 69 machine a look, but he's not able to get the run he needs to get side by side with him, and everybody falls single file up here through the top 5.
If I was spotting for Young, I would say be patient and make the pass on the inside. I don't think you want to get to the outside of Todd Cousins. Cousins is a fan of using the entire racetrack as he goes down low and he drifts it way up high, leaves the inside line open if he wants it. Now he's smoothing it out a bit.
Here goes that 69 of Aiden Young. He looks to the inside, and he's going to try to make this happen on that 5 machine, and he has almost gotten it done coming off of turn number 4. Cousins way up the track right there, and here comes Aiden Young. He clears him at the moment. Is he going to be able to come up? He will not take it. He'll keep that inside lane, even though he is clear all the way down the back straightaway. And now the battle is for third. Can Cousins hold on, or is Negus going to be able to get the job done on the inside?
So with the yellow flag stopping and us getting a long green flag run, we can kind of see who's fast here. The front 5 are beginning to pull away. It's a little ways back to Donnie Moore. Moore could just be playing possum. He's played to get those guys, but right now Cousins stuck on the top side. Negan gets them, and Wilson is going to, I'm with you. Wilson is going to try to go underneath them too.
Yeah, looking forward from Donnie Moore right there. You can see a little bit of contact between John Wilson and Todd Cousins right there, and Wilson going to back off going down the back straightaway. He's going to try to mount another charge at Todd Cousins right here, and they're side by side again. But yeah, you called it earlier. Cousins not looking quite as smooth as some of the other drivers out there, and it really is tough on your tires when you're driving that way. You're entering the corner that hard. You're using up a lot of your tire equity when you do that, and Todd Cousins has been doing it all race long. It can be fast on restarts because you can make runs at guys, but man, I think we're about to have a battle for the lead up front.
This is Menda. You know, Menda, for all Cousins was doing, was giving Menda a hard time. So he might have used up more stuff. He wasn't able to just relax up there in front, and Young now has got there. Meanwhile, Negus gets through Cousins. Cousins drifts the car really up high. Let's stay back in. Let's look at Cousins as these guys are going underneath him. This is Wilson trying to get under him, and now that is Pearson going.
No, that's the lap
car. That's the lap car.
Right there, yeah. No, Tom got it out of the way, but Cousins got passed by the 75 of John Wilson. Falls into line in that 5th position. You see them riding nose to tail right here, and the top 3 kind of broke away because of that side-by-side battle that Cousins and John Wilson had. And now Wilson loses all that ground to these front 3 as Aiden Young looks to the inside of Menda in turn 3. Side-by-side through 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to get it done on the 45 of Menda off of turn number 4? Menda gets a run. He kind of turns down to Aiden. Man, Aiden has to get out of the gas going into turn number 1 to avoid running into Menda.
Jason Menda doing a little rhinoplasty there on Aiden Young. They come away.
That was really aggressive.
Yeah, what's up? He closed the door like Queen Elsa on her coronation. Back there in 3rd is Scott Negus watching the show. Good racing going on up front.
Yeah, and it's about time we got a nice, good green flag run out of these guys. We know they're capable of it. We see it week in and out in the Bootleg Racing League, and I know there's a few more drivers this season than we've seen in seasons past. But it just took them a little while to get the kinks worked out here at the start of the race. And now everybody's got it ironed out, and they're working their way back through. A couple of guys of note, that first incident that we saw as Aiden really looks to the inside again here on Menda. We got to stay with this battle because it's just too good not to as they come up on more lap traffic here in the next couple of laps. But a couple of guys I wanted to make a note of was the 87 of Todd Liston and the 81 of Joe Segala. They were just battling, and Liston got through. Liston is back up to the 12th spot as they were all the way at the back of the field after that first fracas, as one of the other drivers like to call it there, that we had early on. But man, Liston's a guy that you have to look for late. If we get a late yellow, man, it could really change things. Look at this. That was a 3-wide battle between between Lowell Jewell and Ruben Altiz and the double deuce of Bruce Pearson right there.
Pearson dropping like a pigeon right now. He's struggling in the yellow number 22.
As is the 5 of Todd Cousins. He's under attack right now from Donnie Moore to the inside right here, but Cousins able to mount a charge on the outside. This is that point of the run I was talking about earlier where The outside can do a little bit of damage. You can hold guys off because it gets a lot harder to hold the throttle down when you're on the bottom after you have this many green flag laps. And I think that's what we saw from Donnie Moore. He's a lot faster than Cousins, but he wasn't able to keep the throttle down and get the job done on the inside.
You know, Ricky, something you touched on, and I think it may be a big issue, is lap traffic. With such a large field, and now we have a nice green flag run going on, Menda's going to have to deal with some lap cars. It's a little bit of a ways before he gets to Tim Coder, who's racing in 21st. He's one lap down next on the track. It could be an issue as we get near the end.
Yeah, this thing stays green for the rest of the time. It definitely could be an issue, and if he catches up to the tail end of the lead lap cars where Ed Springer, Trey Bloom, and Steve Hilbert all run, they're a pack of cars. And if he's able to close the gap on those, man, it could really play into the end of this race.
All right, let's go back and look at Donnie Moore working underneath the 5 of Cousins. He's going to get that done. He's going to see if he can bring along the number 6 of Kurt Smith as well.
Yeah, you say he gets it done, but man, he's really having a hard time getting the throttle down there on the bottom as they make some contact down the back straightaway right there. Moore tried to run him a little wide entering the corner right there. He said, I'm done with this side by side. I'm a lot faster, and I'm ready to get on through here, and he does so. Kurt Smith now to the inside of the 5 car. I don't know if he's raced around with Todd Cousins a lot, but Todd's not going to give him a lot of extra room. This will be a close battle going down into turn number 3 as Cousins will try to pinch him down because Cousins is tired of bleeding all these spots, but man, he can't do anything about it. Kurt Smith goes through. Mike Holloway now to the inside, and he's bringing a couple more with him if they can help him.
Holloway got there at a good time, and he's going to get it done. And the number 5 cannot come down, and it's going to be, I think, Lowell Jewell next, and it won't be long till Altice gets there as well.
Oh, man, that's tight.
Yeah. We can't stay there in the entire race, but, man, that is where the action is. Let's go ahead and look at the leader here real quick. I just got a hunch. I just got a feeling that Aiden Young is just going as fast as he needs to, or as slow as he can afford to. Maybe even Menda as well. It's interesting to see Scott Negas. Who knows what he has left? It's going to be really interesting.
Caution is out. We got trouble further back here in the field. I think that's going to be over there in turns 3 and 4. I'm not exactly sure what happened.
I don't see anybody around. Oh, maybe Ed Springer got collected in it.
Yeah, I see the 52 of Hilbert went around with Springer. It looks like actually Springer may have gotten into the back of Hilbert a little bit coming off of turn number 4. And quick spin by Steve Hilbert, and he gets it back going. It was enough to bring the yellow flag out. Those were those guys I was talking about that were racing for the last position on the lead lap. So they weren't too far in front of the leader right there. But 19 cars now on the lead lap, and Tim Porter will likely get a free pass and become our 20th. Interesting with Todd Cousins coming down pit road right here. I wonder if he's aware he does not have any tires laying there. His crew's going to have to tell him.
Well, these rookies don't know the rules yet. It might be that the car just got so undrivable that maybe you just had to call it at night. Let's go ahead. And we talked to Donnie Moore. I can't remember. This is my second race. I don't think we've talked to Donnie yet this race. Let's dial him up. He's in 5th. Donnie, it's Soup again up here in the booth. Maybe that's the yellow you needed to get you up there with the leaders. You got anything left?
Well, it's okay now, but I'm not so sure the tires are going to last. We'll see.
Well, if there's any consolation, I don't know what the 4 guys in front of you have left either. So you guys might all be racing on the rims here when it comes to the end.
All right, well, that'll be exciting.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks.
Ricky, I honestly, if Donnie Moore had brand new set of rubber on there, I think he'd probably talk to me the same way.
You're probably right. I like the observation that you made a little earlier that I think that both Menda and Aiden Young were driving just as hard as they needed to. That's their style. Honestly, yeah. I mean, you know, mid-race, those 2 guys are guys that tend to just bide their time and wait for the race to come to them. And I don't think Aiden Young was trying to go anywhere, but let's see if he can make something happen on this outside lane. Well,
he's out there. If he can pin Menda down on the inside, that might be the ticket.
Anyone can do it. It's him, right?
You know, real quick, J.R. Shepard taught me that, the outside line may not be the fastest line around, but it might be the fastest line when you're side by side. So we'll see how that plays out.
Down into the restart zone they come, and as he has all night long, Jason Menda gets on the loud pedal and gets away, and I don't believe that Aiden Young's going to have a chance to fight him on the outside going down into turn number 1 unless he dives up there before they get to the exit of 2, and he's got a little bit of a run at Menda. Is he going to do anything with it? He's going to dive to the inside going into turn number 3. Menda tries to close the door. They make a little bit of contact side to side right there, but both continue on, and man, Menda really pitches him on the exit of 4 as well.
Tip of the hat to Aiden Young. That's the second time he's had the door closed on him.
Man, Menda's really playing with fire driving like that on the restart. I mean, the 69 machine had his nose all the way in there alongside that fender, and Menda said, I ain't letting you have it. He just closed the door, and that gives Negus the second spot. Let's see if Scott Negus has anything for our leader, but the battle is for 4th right here. We just talked to him. Donnie Moore, he's on the inside of that 75, the Canadian Goose of John Wilson. John goes way up the track right there. Ooh, he almost gets contact from the 6 car behind that, and man, a lot of close battles there behind that for about the 6th through 10th position, but man, these guys are going to have to stay off each other as they have coming back to about 17 laps to go here. We're getting down to it.
Donnie Moore was leading that group through the field that had Holloway and Smith and Altice in it. He's quick, and now he's moved up into what 4th position now. When we interviewed him, he was in 5th. Aiden Young, I think, may have just waved Negus by and said, why don't you take a shot at Menda? I'm tired of him. I'll come back and get you when we get closer to the checkered flag. So now the 29 will take a shot at the 45.
Well, maybe the 69 machine there thought that Scott Negus might use a little more bumper than Aiden is willing to use. Scott Negus goes to the outside there in turns 1 and 2 and gets a big run at Menda. He's going to dive to the inside just like we saw the 69 do before, but Menda's going to leave the door open this time. They're going to be side by side coming off of turn number 4. Negus noses ahead, but it's going to be Menda at the line. 15 laps to go in this race. Sideways is Scott Negus going down into turn number 1, and they just about make contact again.
Young in the popcorn position watching him, but not able to make up a ton of ground. You almost wonder if Aiden hasn't used up his stuff. Negus gets it done.
Oh, no! He hooks him. Man, Menda was trying to cross him under, and Negus is going to get contact from Mike Holloway. He's going to collect Kurt Smith, Donnie Moore, a lot of other cars. Todd Liston goes head on into the outside wall as well. That was just an unfortunate timing circumstance there between the 45 of Menda and the 29 of Negus. Menda was going to try to cross under him, and instead he hooked him across the rear bumper head on into the outside wall.
And what's interesting, I don't even think he caught him in the side. I think he had the momentum. He just ran up on the back of him.
Yeah, it was almost like, you know how if you follow the NASCAR racing at the big tracks, Talladega and Daytona, they used to put sandpaper on those bumpers so they could push each other and stay gripped up. That's what it looked like. It looked like sandpaper on the back bumper got hooked by the 45, and he just couldn't get off of him fast enough. And I'm not sure if he got out of the gas or if he just couldn't do anything about it. Look at Negus, man, just gets collected by all these other cars. Head on goes Kurt Smith. Head on goes Todd Liston. Just innocent bystanders in this situation. Man, unfortunate for all those guys, but look who it benefits. Aiden Young.
And Menda going to do a little self-policing as he comes in. You know, when Aiden Young let Negus by, I almost thought that it was almost a case where, might be the easiest way to pass Menda is if Negus and Menda get in the wall, and that sure enough, that's what happens. And now Holloway has made his way up into 2nd position, and Donnie Moore in 3rd. Donnie Moore be started on the inside of row 2.
Yeah, Donnie got a lot of damage from that incident, and Holloway got a little bit of it too. And that nose on the 26 is a little worse for the wear. Holloway's car kind of looks okay after the contact there with the spinning car there off of down the front straightaway. But Moore, man, I think his shot to the nose was a little too strong, and I'm kind of afraid that he's not going to have the speed he needs when they get back going.
Okay, let's quickly look at the 5. We were informed that Todd Cousins came into pit lane. I guess as I look on my timing and scoring, I guess he did. Right now he's racing in the Baker's Dozen spot. If he can hold that spot, look for him to start on pole next round. He's a fascinating man.
Well, he may have had a little bit of damage. I mean, we know he had some damage on the nose. I can still see that he does have damage on the nose, so maybe he wanted to get some of that addressed because it wasn't turning the way he wanted. And sometimes in these late model stocks, that's all you need. Them hammer on the nose a little bit and helps it turn.
Ruben Altice in 5th, Mark Herzog in 6th.
Coming back to the restart this time, and it's an all-new cast of characters up front. Aiden Young has control of the field, and he's got the 88 of Mike Holloway to his outside. We talked about it. Donnie Moore's running 3rd. And the Canadian Goose, John Wilson, in that 75 car, runs 4th. Down into the restart zone they come, and onto the loud pedal goes that 69 of Aiden Young. He gets a great restart. He's down and away. Nobody to challenge him down into turn number 1. The battle is for 2nd. That 26 with the beat-up nose on it. That's Donnie Moore. He's to the inside of Holloway off of turn number 2. But look at the run that Holloway gets on the top.
Oh, that's a rocket 88. As Mike Holloway now trying to get it done, but he takes it in so hard through 3 and 4. He drifts up, Moore gets underneath him, but now he gets it sorted out. All this going on behind Aiden Young. Moore is in 3rd position. That is Wilson now in 5th. The yellow car of Herzog. He might have something for these guys, but he's got to get going. Only 7 laps to go.
A lot of cars worse for the wear, but Donnie Moore. We had a big wreck further back, but no caution so far. A lot of guys got checked up on the back straightaway. Scott Negus trying to get it turned back around, and the leaders are coming back around. Looks like everybody's got it pointed in the right direction, and I don't think we're going to see a yellow flag. So coming back now to 6 laps to go, you got Aiden Young in the lead, and Mike Holloway has closed the gap over the last lap and is going to mount a charge at Aiden Young if there's anything he can do about it. He goes wide into turn number 1, gets a really big run at Aiden Young down the back straightaway. Not going to have enough to do anything quite yet as they come back to 5 laps to go. Look at this hornet's nest back here.
There was a lot of spinning going on. I think the race steward says we've had enough. Let's get this thing done before we lose our satellite feed. Look what the 88 is doing. Gets a good run off of 2, Ricky. He's got his nose underneath him through 3 and 4.
And he is going to be side by side with Aiden Young, and Aiden just looks like he has no tires left. The car pushes straight up the track, and leading this lap will be Mike Holloway. That 88 sure does look fast on the side of that car, and he's going to get the job done off of turn number 2. He's still a fender to the outside as Aiden Young in the 69 car, and he's going to try to squeeze him down right here in 3 and 4, but look at it just push up the track off of turn 4, and Holloway clears him.
Oh, it's like a horse that is just out of gas, giving it all he's got. But he's going to fall down to 2nd. What a run from Holloway. Started in 12th, works his way to the front. It took him 96 laps to get there, coming around. He's got 2 more to go. It looks like he's going to secure that win. Doesn't seem like anybody else is going to get there. Back in 3rd position, Herzog's got that. Moore in 4th, running at your top 5 is Wilson, Ricky.
Yeah, Herzog was able to get around the outside of Donnie Moore. Donnie really struggling on the front, on the straightaways with speed with the damage that he has. But we come back to the white flag. Mike Holloway in the High Rock Vodka number 88 car takes that white flag, and he's got a good 5 car lengths gap over Aiden Young going through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, half a lap to go. It's gonna be Mike Holloway winning the season opener here in the Bootleg Racing League Late Model Series.
Quickly, let's look at Todd Cousins in 13th. He's going to limp that car across, barely in 13th. Look for, no, it's 14th. The car was so slow as Joseph Snyder, the butcher, was able to carve his way into the pole position. Todd Cousins will be starting from the inside of row 7 come round 2. Oh my goodness, this was an exciting one. Holloway, Young, Herzog. We'll interview all of those when we come back from break. We'll run down the entire order before we put a lock on the gate. You're watching the Virtual Pit Network. Welcome back to North Wilkesboro Speedway and VGN's opening round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Invitational Series, Season 29. One short of Triple X are we. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. My goodness, he only led 5 laps, but they were the last 5 laps. He started in 12th. He gets the win. New number, new season, and he picks up the win. We're talking about Mike Holloway and his new number 88. Aiden Young, very smart race, led 9 laps, was just taking his time, got to the lead. I think if this would have been a 95-lap race, he would have got the win, but he ran out of rubber at the end, and Holloway got him. Aiden will have to settle for second. Mark Herzog comes from the blackjack position and finishes third. Nice job for the 57. Donnie Moore and John Wilson will go fourth and fifth. The back half of your top 10, it's the caveman, Trey Bloom, 23rd to 6th. Lowell Jewell, 20th to 7th. Chris Haslick, 16 to 8th. Ed Springer finishes 7th spot, 6 spots from where he started in 9th. And Ruben Altice, 14th to 10th. Ricky?
Well, Joe Segala, we saw him involved in the early contact there with Todd Liston. He finishes 11th. Great rally from where he was after that huge incident. Down 10 spots, but man, 11th has got to feel like a win after that contact. Bruce Pearson brings it back up to 12th. Joseph Snyder finishes in the 13th spot. Rough night for him, but he'll be on the pole next week with that 13th finishing position. Todd Cousins just missed out on that, finishes 14th. Tim Corder finishes 15th. Todd Liston, 16th. Scott Negus all the way back to 17th. Steve Hilbert, 18th. Tom Hilbert and Jeffrey Kemper round out the top 20.
Jason Menda, well, he was up front for a long time. He had an exciting race, to put it kindly. He's going to finish in the blackjack position. Kurt Smith in the double duck spot. Bobby Hayes behind them. Adam Shane will come home in 24th. Ed Foster, oh my goodness, he ended up in the Billy Bog as he's going to finish 25th. And James Lowe, 77 laps off the pace in dead last. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk to our race winner, Mike Holloway. Mike, you only led yourself 5 laps. You had enough rubber to get around Aiden Young at the end. Let's talk about the pass.
Yeah, I mean, 5 laps, 1 lap, what does it matter, right? I mean, all I need is to lead one.
The yellow flag at the end was timely. You were back there with Donnie Moore, and there was quite a gap between you and the front 5, and then that brought you in and gave you a chance at this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, when it came out, I was kind of mad. I was kind of wanting to ride it out. I didn't really think I had a whole lot left. But once we went green afterwards, I was really glad that caution came out.
Well, that's because you had no idea how hard the front 5 were racing while you were back there working your way through traffic. You get some done on the track and some done by attrition, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I know I picked up several just for people crashing out, but I made some pretty quality passes too. So.
All right. Well, whenever somebody wins the opening round, I got to ask this question. It's a bit of a real effort to win a championship. Can you show up for the next 10?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to commit to it, but I'd sure like to. So, I mean, we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Well, here's some good news. They do have provisional points, so you get last place points if you get to miss. So you do get to miss one, and it won't be quite as costly as missing as it used to be, where you get a 0. So we'll look forward to you, man. Way to start the season.
Thank you. I certainly appreciate it. I can't think of a better way to start it. So.
If I knew the change in numbers would make me faster, I would have done it a long time ago. Well done, man.
Thank you.
All right, Ricky, who you got?
Well, Aiden Young comes up 1 spot short. He had a great run up there. Aiden, you got the lead on that last restart, and did you think you had enough tire to hold off, Mike?
Probably not. It just went away. And gotta look at big picture here and go for that championship that's eluded me for a long time.
Sounds like you're going to be here every week this season. We do have a provisional. Do you think you're going to need it? Are you going to be at the firehouse at all, or are you going to try to be here every Saturday?
I should be here every Saturday. The only way that happens is if the tones drop.
That sounds great. We're going to look forward to watching you. Great run tonight. Is this one of your favorites out there, or was there a track you're looking forward to later in the season?
Yeah, I'm not great at this track. There's a couple on the schedule I got my eyes on.
Well, it was fun watching you battle for the lead right there. What were you thinking when you got that big run on Jason Menda and got to his inside and he tried to slam the door?
Just hang on.
Well, you did a great job of that, and backing off and falling back to third worked out in your benefit, I think, at the end of the day. P2, not too bad.
Thank you.
All right, there's Aiden Young, your second place finisher. We'll send it over to you, Sue.
I'll tell you right now, that just sent a chill through 25 drivers when they heard Aiden Young is talking big picture. Oh, and he starts the season with a second position. Let's talk to the man who came from the blackjack spot to finish third, Mark Herzog. You got the In-N-Out machine up there, baby.
Yeah, it was a rough one. I'll tell you that much. It was a nice little roadblock there, and that one first caution.
You came to a complete stop. Did it clear, or could you find a path through before you they had to? Well, did you get going through the mess, or did you have to wait?
Yeah, I put it in reverse, backed up, and then tried to go forward, and then I couldn't go anywhere. But yeah, finally cleared to be able to get through.
All right. Well, how much did you have left at the end? Nothing for the guys up front. The car looks pretty fast.
No, not really. In the second incident, I was caught up in that, put me a lap down, gave me some wheel damage. So it was real loose going into one. That's why I kept the grass there real late in the race.
Well, it's fun to watch you race. Congratulations. Looks like you're in the Cheerio car. Am I catching that right?
Oh, still old In-N-Out with Snoopy on there.
Oh, still In-N-Out. Okay, good.
Yeah, some new side graphics on it. Pretty much the same car as ours.
All right, that's good. Good, because the commentators' eyes are getting old, so don't make it too hard on us. Congrats! Oh man, I'm looking at the car right now. It is interestingly shaped, so a well-earned third place.
Well, thank you very much. I got to thank Lowell and all the guys for putting out a great series. You guys are doing an awesome broadcast, and Ryan back there turning those knobs as he does. And as always, I got to thank my wife Linda. Give me a couple hours to come out here and spend some quality time with you guys.
You got it. And wife Linda, well done. Congratulations, third place.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Mark Herzog. And he also names the spouse, which is very important when you do an interview here in VGN. All right, let's go ahead and tell you when we're going to be back. We're going to show you when this series is going to be back next time. And we're going to go to Lanier, and that's going to be later on the Saturday doubleheader. But before then, how about Red Light Racing SK Modified Series? We're going to New Smyrna. That'll be fun. I think I'm going to be part of that broadcast. But don't let that stop you from watching, because J.R. Shepard's going to be there, and he's going to have a lot to tell you. So if you don't like me, you're going to learn a lot from J.R. Shepard. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be Thursday, and every Thursday pretty much through wintertime. With that said, we'd like to thank you for watching. Let me go in the closet and see if I can find your hat. I don't see a hat, so until next time, have fun storming the castle.